Spacehawk and the Perilous Planetoid Trap. First published in Target Comics Volume 1, Number 7, August 1940. By Basil Wolverton. In this episode, the mysterious lone wolf of the void tangles with a tough enemy, but it takes a beautiful girl to finally unmask him. On a tiny planet in outer space, two strange beings have evolved a diabolical means of obtaining the rich cargoes of spacecraft. At last our work is done, Yarg. Equipped with rocket propellers, artificial gravity and an amplified atmosphere, this planetoid will make an ideal trap for ships. Our scheme cannot fail, Zorg. Let us move our planetoid into the traffic lanes of the solar system and make our first catch. In their control house, Zorg and Yarg lose the power to set the planetoid in motion. Mammoth rocket barrels built deep within the rock blast forth pillars of roaring flame. Thus propelled, the planetoid streaks within the bounds of the solar system. Apply the reverse rockets. We will stop here and await our prey. Several thousands miles away, a passenger liner speeds out toward the planet Pluto. The Neptunian pilot is puzzled by what he sees ahead. That's strange. There shouldn't be any planetoid so close to this lane. It's moving into our path, and we are going too fast to turn out for it. In the control room on the planetoid, Zorg bellows orders. Quick, throw out the bumper beam, just enough to keep that ship from hitting too hard. The powerful repellent force grips the craft, and only its fore part is shattered as it runs squarely against the planetoid. The surviving passengers, mostly Saturnians and Neptunians, excitedly rush from the ship. Now we shall witness a very thrilling sight. I shall loose the imprisoned snarls upon our visitors. Zorg yanks a lever. Holes appear in the ground and bloodthirsty snarls, imported from a planet in outer space, leap upon the screaming passengers. That takes care of any assistance we might encounter while we loot the ship. Now to get those snarls back into their dens. Yarg stays in the control house and operates the den closing mechanism, while Zorg with a shock whip goes out and forces the creatures back into their underground quarters. As Zorg is about to enter the wrecked ship, a girl staggers out of it. Upon seeing Zorg, she attempts to flee, but a powerful tentacle whips out and seizes her. Aha, an Earth girl, and quite comely too. Just the person to keep me from becoming too lonely on this barren little planet. An Earth girl, eh? Just leave her to me, Zorg. You can have whatever else you find in the ship. Get this through your thick skull right now, Yarg. I'm the head of this planetoid, and I'll decide what you can have. I'll take care of this girl, and I don't need any help. Come now, I shall put you under the surgical ray. It will alter your appearance completely, and you will be truly beautiful according to my standards. "You'll regret what you've done, you beast, if the interplanetary police don't get you, the spacehawk will." "Earth, woman, the intelligence and power of the spacehawk are nothing compared to my abilities. The spacehawk will never show his face on this planetoid unless I decide to lure him to his doom." But at that very moment, the spacehawk, having spotted the strange planetoid, speeds forth to investigate. Yark in the control house is warned by the automatic ship detector signal. "Looks like a private ship, whoever it is. I'll show them what it means to come snooping around here." The spacehawk promptly lands as he steps from his ship to Herculean snarls charge him. He calmly seizes both of them and hurls them to their death. Looking out upon the scene, Yark is amazed at the display of strength. Then he recognizes the masked figure. It's the Spacehawk! He is where that meddler meets his Waterloo. He can't escape this atom rifle. Lifted by the controllable anti-gravity elements in his apparel, the Spacehawk approaches in long leaps. Suddenly he is struck full in the chest by a lethal bolt from Yark's rifle and falls in a heap upon the rocky soil. I have done what hundreds of men have tried to do and failed to put an end to the famous Spacehawk. The valorous hero of the skies is deader than a moon crater. I'll give him a fitting funeral by letting out 2 more snarls to pick his bones. Yark shrieks in alarm as he is gripped tightly by the leg. "Speaking of bone picking, I have one I'm going to pick with you, my friend." You give a mighty rousing welcome to visitors. Now I'll return your hospitality. Don't, I thought you were dead." The Spacehawk whirls Yark around his head and flings him away with such force that he's crushed to a pulp against the steel wall of an oxygenator. Within his laboratory, where he is about to change the Earth girl into an ugly creature, more to his liking, Zork hears Yark's last blood-curdling screams. He rushes to window and stiffens with surprise at sight of the Spacehawk. That fool Yark! If he'd turned on the bumper beam, the Spacehawk couldn't have landed. I'll soon settle with both of them. Sensing Zork's whereabouts, the Spacehawk leaps directly through the window and into the laboratory. Looking for trouble, eh? Here's where you can find it. Zork's atom pistol spits straight into the seared spot on the Spacehawk's chest. As though suddenly frozen stiff, the Spacehawk halts, then crashes to the floor. Well, the Spacehawk howls, then crashes to the floor. Anyway, that's that. Now to discover what's behind that mask. Why, it's a mechanical man, a robot. Recovering from his amazement, Zork hurries back to his terrestrial victim. "I have news for you, my dear. I have just conquered your mysterious hero, the Spacehawk. He is nothing more than a robot, an intricate mechanical machine." "Then you did not meet the Spacehawk. I have seen him, and I'm sure he is human." At a sound behind him, Zork whirls and finds himself confronted by another masked figure. The Earth girl is right. You merely shot at one of my robots. Now you have me to contend with. Robot of flesh and blood, I'll tear you to pieces. Putting all his great strength into his steely tentacles, Zorg struggles furiously. He is sure he is about to overcome his opponent. Then suddenly, the spacehawk seizes him by his neck and with one swift, powerful motion breaks Zorg's spinal column. Zorg shivers convulsively and slumps to the floor, dead. I'll have you out of here in a moment, miss. For one who has had such a narrow escape, you're surprisingly calm. Should I be excited? I was sure you would come. Don't you remember me? Only a few weeks ago you rescued me from Gorwak the Martian. I never forget a face. Why not take off that mask and give me a chance to remember yours? Since I arrived in this solar system, I have allowed no one to unmask me or any of my robots until today. Ta-da! But now I am going to claim that kiss I didn't take when I saved you from the Martian pirates. Why is it you didn't do that when you rescued me before? How do you know but what you were rescued by one of my robots? There is the robot through which I attacked your captors. It functions by my telepathic commands, almost as my own limbs do. In fact, it is actually I in a mechanical form. It's getting up, it's following us. It's not damaged too much to obey simple commands. Come, I must get this planetoid out of the traffic lanes. By means of amplified gravitation within his ship, the spacehawk quickly tows the planetoid back into outer space. Then he speeds to the Earth girl's intended destination, the planet Pluto. Will I meet you again soon? It's likely to be a long time. I've much work to do. Please don't get into any more trouble. If you do and I happen to be too far away, you may not be so fortunate. Goodbye. I guess it's up to me to see that it isn't too long until we meet again. We've seen the spacehawk, but just who is he? Be sure to meet him again next month in Target Comics and in my next episode of Reading Basil Wolverton's Spacehawk. Thanks for watching and listening. Goodbye.